okay. Producer, okay then.
Yep.
Control. Right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mothers and fathers. Dumisani Matebula. This is the 4th episode of hashtag 60 Minutes with Didi. And as we told you, I'm out in Nelspruit with the whole team. We're coming here to talk to Eulender Nanni, getting to know her better. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome this beautiful lady next to me. Eulender, how are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
I'm good.
That's great.
It's cold this side. Yo, like staying in a mountain.
Yeah, it is cold. Hey, we're surrounded by a couple of streams.
It's very, very cold.
Yeah, the Crocodile River flows between us. So,
Nah.
yeah.
How have you been then?
I've been okay. Yeah, it's been a bit hectic, but okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, just told you this is Eulender Nanni that we're gonna be talking to. Eulender, here is South Africa. They wanna hashtag 60 Minutes with Didi. They wanna know you. Tell them, who is Eulender Nanni? You can take us where you grew up, your childhood. What are the things that you did in childhood? Because it doesn't come overnight, whatever that you're doing today. Who is Eulender Nanni?
Eulender Nanni is a girl that grew up Amajimbe.
Okay.
Yeah, there might be like that disconnect when one is speaking English, but Kungwana go Majimbe.
Okay.
It's just that now, like when you're communicating with different kind of people, you're gonna use English as your means of communication. So I'm a twin, firstborn twins of mine.
Okay, you are a twin.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, like a number of people don't know. It's only the guys that we grew with closely.
Okay.
Yeah, because me and my twin are like a little bit of a contrast. We're not similar, but we're similar.
Okay.
So you see us as sisters when you come across both of us, or when you see the other one without the other. After us, yeah, they're all grown up. They look like they are like my older brothers, but they're all little. Yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Okay.
Yeah, what else you want to know? I was a troubled child growing up.
What do you want to know, Eulender? Like, where did you matriculate? What are the things that you have been doing while you were in high school? If maybe you went to university or tertiary, tell us what was your involvement in all those?
Matriculated a WEM private school in Bushbuckridge.
Okay.
And I used to play climbing trees. I am an outdoorsy person. I'm not a girls.
Yeah.
I'm an outdoors person.
Yeah.
I used to like playing on my own. As much as I've got a twin, yes, I played with her, but some of the time I could just escape, go and climb trees. And I'm talkative, but I have moments where I'm very secluded. I can just just be so silent that you'll think something is wrong with me, meanwhile it's not. When I matriculated, I came to Nelspruit to study internal auditing. It was my second love, because my first love was acting. My parents...
Oh, so you wanted to act?
Yes! I grew up singing, acting and dancing, so not the typical dancing like white dancing. I'm not like for that.
Okay.
I can't dance and I can just bust the move a little bit. But I danced ballroom dance, I danced your contemporary dance, classical choreography kinda. So that was the cards for our parents because they wanted us to be structured. They didn't believe that the arts were gonna make money.
Okay.
So I went for my second love, which was internal auditing. And I always loved helping people from a very young age. I had my own group as kids.
Yeah.
I could teach them how to dance, act, dramatize because I just fell in love with that. Helping became a second nature because my mother, we always grew up with people around us. So my mother always had that. She channeled it to us as kids. Yeah. And I see it with my siblings.
They call it philanthropist. I just got the word while growing up, so you can call yourself a philanthropist.
I call myself that because it's a title, but for me, I say I'm always I love to work with people.
Okay.
And working with people just means you touch a life in an extraordinary way where another person might not have actually realized that you've touched them. Only they might realize after a year or so, but yeah, I've always loved working with people. Yeah, always.
With the team, Eulender, we've done our research. And we find out Mzansi, Eulender is married to a white person. What we want to check, it's you are married and you are married to a different race, like from us as black people. And we know the society how it's going to respond to that. We want to know from your side, how did the society respond to, how did they take that when they find out that, oh, you're not getting married to a white woman, a different race?
I don't really know. I never got to I never got to actually mellow in that, because for me, when I met my husband, it was more of something that it was by chance.
Okay.
He came at my workplace. I normally am not seen by people, but that day I went to a place where I could be seen by customers. When you work with numbers, you work with your computer. So he just saw me there, and there was just a phrase that he said that everyone started calling me his wife.
Okay.
That's what he said. He said, Sabona Makotunjani. Then I just looked up and I laughed. There was a bunch of people wanting to buy like where I work at. So from there it just transpired where we just started spending time, because when you come you could ask me questions. So it was platonic. It was never about, I don't believe in love at first sight. I believe in like being acquainted with a person and learning a person, because you choose who you want to love. That's me. I don't know about others. There might be people that say they believe in love at first sight. I do not. Out of all the relationships I've ever had, I never said there was somebody I fancied. I had crushes, but there were none of the guys I ever dated where like it transpired out of that. So I just grew to love him, and and we got married. So
the rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history. I never mellowed into wanting to know what people say, because for me, I chose him, he chose me. So why would I want the external factors? I only worried about my parents, my immediate family, meaning the 4 siblings I have and my parents, my mom and dad. So I worried about them.
And how did they respond to it, your mom and dad?
My mom, it was a very it was a very hard pill to swallow. But eventually, because I'm a vocal person, they taught us to be vocal about our feelings. So I spoke my piece. It was not easy. If I'm speaking 5 minutes about it, it was not an easy time, because for them it was more about him not being in my life for longer than because of his age.
Okay.
So my dad.
What's wrong with age?
I think my mom was more afraid that he's gonna die on me.
Okay.
So I remember I asked her a question. We were sitting across each other from her living room. I asked her, "Are you more afraid about what people will say, or what are you afraid?" It's like, the only thing I picked up was, he's gonna die. I mean, you're young. Look at you. You're so different from each other. And for me, I've always been an odd one out at home. I've always called myself the black sheep, but not in a bad way. But I've always seen myself as I'm cut from a different cloth.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
But I can see you even glowing. That means everything is well taken care of.
No, we make each other, like, relationships are hard, right? It's work. It's like an employment. So I think if people were to start and grasp it in that way, that relationship, it's like an employment. Each and every morning when you get up, it's work. So you need to know your duties. You need to know what are your deliverables, and you need to know, if you want a bonus, you need to know what is it that you need to do. If people start taking it like that, literally, I tell you, I don't think there will be a lot of divorces. I think there will be more people that are happy than people that are miserable because of an idealistic value.
Because each and every day you must work for a relationship.
Yes, you have to work.
South Africa, you heard it from Eulender Nanni. Barry, you must work for that relationship. It's an employment.
It is, because you signed a contract when you're married.
Beautiful. You're still chilling with Eulender Nanni, and yes, it's your host, Didi Nanni-Mokoena here, out in Nelspruit, getting to know Eulender Nanni. Eulender Nanni, there are things that you do.
Yeah.
Let me say you're an entrepreneur or a business person. Before we go to the other, in entrepreneur, what is it that you are involved in? What do you do?
I'm a brand. I'm a motivational speaker.
Okay, I didn't know about that.
I'm an MC, so I can host your event like a killer.
Like you hosted Mr. Bruce Bagres.
You know? So, I do a lot of things. So I mentor kids. I take that as a job as well, because the rewarding part is when a child is succeeding and you get to play a part. Because monetary value, it's not about you having to get the money. We make a lot of mistake by saying when you're an entrepreneur, you must first get the profits before.
Okay.
What are the companies that are succeeding in the world? If I were to mention a few, Coca-Cola didn't make profit on their first sale.
Yeah.
I think they sold less than either 10 but less than 20 like items of whatever size that time they produced. If you Google it, you'll find the story. If they stopped there, they wouldn't have actually made a killing like they do now.
Yeah.
Now they don't need to advertise. In fact, they've pulled out most of their advertising since the lockdown. If anyone can look on Facebook, they're not there at the moment, because for them it's not a big thing to advertise, because the brand is it's already there. They've paved the way for it. So yes, I make money out of the hosting. It's not a lot, but it's something that I'm proud of.
Okay. Beautiful. You have it. It doesn't come overnight. You work for it. It won't come. You don't start today and you say you're getting money. You just mentioned. I know you mentioned 2 or 3, but what else do you do? I know you got this what we want know all those things.
Yeah, sometimes you tend to mention a few. I took over the Miss Eulender Nanni brand.
How did that come about?
The lady that owned it, she actually wanted to focus on something else.
Okay.
So she approached me and said she would love me to actually take the brand, because
so she approached you.
Yes.
Wow, beautiful.
So she said she knows that I can nurture something and it can grow. And for me, I was actually looking for something similar to a pageant, because I wanted to empower kids in a certain way, and I knew certain things are appealing to kids. So I wanted to package it the way she actually was packaging it. We all believed in the entrepreneurship. We all believed in business skills. We all believed in wanting to grow the girl child. So it came naturally. I took it up and I liked it. And I'm also doing a fashion show. So I didn't want to only grow kids just one day in a year. So I decided, let me just groom kids by having a modeling agency. But my one is different, because I'm not conforming to any person's standards. I'm looking at what is important and what is going to work for you as the person who's going to come and say, I want you to represent me.
Beautiful.
And I've seen it working for the kids that I'm helping.
From where we are sitting today, Eulender Nanni, it's that brand that everybody knows. Let me say nationwide, not only provincial wise. When did you start all these things? I'm starting.
It has always been in my mind to build a legacy. I think it got propelled when my daughter became sick.
Okay.
She was diagnosed with an eating disorder from a very young age. So I wanted to grow a platform from that. And then when I started reaching people in different segments, I realized that no, man, I can actually make business out of this. One, I can talk. Two, when I speak, I get people that are willing to listen. Why don't I actually just make sure that what I've been doing from a long time ago, because I used to be an MC at home. I used to talk to kids, even if it was 6 or 7 kids, but I used to actually have an impact. So I started 2017 when I entered a pageant. Like when I can say fully all of those things, I was putting my 100% in it. At home I used to sing, because I'm a singer. I used to worship in church. I used to lead a lot of things, but I never put it in a spectrum aside from religion. So 2017, I really just took it a day as it come.
what I've just got now from what she said, it's that challenge or that situation that you're having, you think it's big, you think you can't solve it, make an opportunity out of it. Do something with that situation. Let us just go to the markets and see what other young people are doing out there that are in business. We have bike printers that are based in Akonuk. These ones, they can help you with company registration at 490 rand, a name change of company at 1,000 rand, and also they do car branding 2.5 up to 12,000. They also print t-shirts from 30 rand up until 140. So they are based in Akonuk. Call them bike printers. Let us come back to you, Eulender. In business, there are things that comes in your way while you busy trying to climb the ladder. What are those challenges that you did face along the way, and how did you overcome those challenges?
I like people not paying, or somebody ordering something.
Yeah, that makes the two of us. Yeah,
and you spend money. I'll give an example. I also do. I do a fashion show, so I wear most of the outfits which I collaborate with different designers.
Yeah.
So I've got a label as well, my own Eulender Nanni label,
okay,
which I've collaborated with a designer. Funny enough, by the same name as me, Eulender Yara. So you find that somebody a similar outfit, we could tweak it, and then once it's finished and done and it's ready to be couriered, then I tell you how much is it. Yes, you knew about the price, but now it's supposed to be like sent to you. There's no money. I can't send something, especially when you've spent money. I pay attention to detail, so I like something that will last longer. So in terms of quality, I'm a person of quality. You look at my outfits, they're gonna be timeless forever. So the next thing, the person doesn't pay or doesn't pick up their phone call, or when you render a service and somebody doesn't want to pay you, meanwhile you agreed on on an invoice. Because I do work for pro bono, but there's certain works which when you come to me, I'll say, okay, this is how much I cost, and then you say, no, fine, I'll pay you within this time, and it doesn't come. So yeah, you do have moments like that. And then you have moments like uncontrolled situations. The typical example is the COVID-19. I had events, and within like a short span of time, everything had to be postponed because of what we were facing. So you look at the fact that you also, with that, you've spent money to advertise, you've actually booked some of the things which you cannot even say
you
need
booked
your
what
money.
did you paid them.
You know, so, excuse me. So, you look at advertising, once it's out there, it's out there. You cannot say, let me take this stuff and put it aside, I'll advertise. And then, and it's money that you spent and it went, you can't recover it. Is that going to make you say, I'm not going to try something else? You're going to wallow, cry? There will be moments like that, but you need to always know that...
Toughen up.
Yeah, that to be as stiff as a rock.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But in all those situations, what is the motivation behind that makes you say, I won't quit? I will keep on doing this. What motivates you to keep on doing it?
It's a legacy. I want to leave a legacy. I want to be timeless. I want to be remembered. That when you see that bird that has a particle spreading out, you can identify yourself. If you look at my brand name, it's got a bird and the particles are spreading out. I want you to recognize yourself within those particles, that you are from Eulender. She didn't just become a person in your life, she became an impact. So I want to leave a legacy, whether be it for my siblings or my daughter, but I want it to be a timeless legacy. Yeah.
And how is it going so far? Do you think you're in the right track?
Yeah.
Are you busy trying, so when I'm caught?
No, I am leaving a memorable and a lasting legacy, because you know when you get a message and you get like a DM from somebody that you don't know, and they say, I was in this place, but because of how you striving or because of how you living, it makes me want to push. Or somebody says, you remember when you talked about this, I went and did it. And it's mind-blowing, because it's sometimes it happens with people that you don't even relatively know. but they are there when you're speaking, or they're there when you're motivating somebody. So yeah.
Beautiful. If you just joined us now, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, note that we're talking to Eulender Nanni, one of, let me say, prominent business woman that is based in our province, the place of the rising sun, Mpumalanga. Getting to know where does she come from and how does she do all these things. Looking at the things that you do, Eulender, I can confirm and I can strongly say, I can stand in front of millions and tell people that Eulender is so professional at what she does.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us, how do you bring professionalism in whatever that you do? And in that professionalism, how do you tell someone that, or how can you talk to someone and encourage that person that it is important to do things professionally?
It's important because it's what you do that will make people talk about you. It's the lasting effect of what you do. So if you're gonna be sloppy or late, people are gonna remember that. So I want to be memorable, and in me being memorable, I want to do everything with quality.
Okay.
I'd rather have an event which has 50 people than 100 people. But as long as I can deliver the utmost service to them, for me, I've made it. My mom was she's a person who likes being on time.
Yeah.
So for me, also on time, it's like,
Speaking
yeah.
of time.
I'm very fidgety about, if you tell me o'clock, for me o'clock is o'clock. Unless there's like the unfortunate event that happens, which I can understand. Somebody can fall and break.
Yeah.
Somebody can like, be injured or something. Or something bad can really happen that you can't control. But for me, when you start off in a right note, you're actually saving yourself. Okay. For me, I say, when somebody says you're going to be a host, show up, be the host. Yeah. Don't just come and be sloppy Joe. Do some research, find out what the place is, arrive early so that if there's a need that they need to brief you, they can brief you.
Okay.
So yeah, for me, professionalism is everything. From how I used to structure how I could study when I was in tertiary. For me, it was, I used to plan my time wisely. So yeah. So
these things came during the time you were in tertiary, that no, I want to do things this way.
Ooh, I've always liked doing things proper. And even when I was teaching my kids to choreograph something, I would rather have 3 girls than 10 girls. If you can't do it, you can just walk away. Because for me, delivery is important. I know it's not, I'm not perfect, but I'm not aiming for I'm not aiming for perfection. I'm aiming for good. And good, it's perfect. Because there's no perfection. And I'm delivering good.
Yes, good.
I am delivering good. Because I'm memorable.
There are people freaks, so when I can confirm that you're a time freak.
Definitely, yeah. And I think I was always gravitating towards people that were like time conscious, like my mom, my granny, some of my friends, my husband. So I think I always spoke what I wanted in my life. Yeah.
If you have a question at home you want to ask Eulender Nanni, we're gonna give you time, so we're gonna be going to those questions to check. If you want nails, minwala, manala,
manala.
You can always visit Beauty Nails and Makeup 3060. They are based at Akonuk Nabona Manapo Complex. But full color, they charge 250. Ombre nails 300 rand. Refill, it's 150. Gel overlay, it's 150. And pedicure, it's 150. They are based at Manapo Complex, next to or between Plaza and Mall. That's where they are based. So you can always go there and get your nails. I repeat again, if you have questions, you can always ask those questions to Eulender Nanni. I guess you ready for those questions?
I don't think I was ready.
Eulender, you told us that your husband find you got you at work. What kind of work do you do, or your 4 to 8, or your 8 to 4, not 4 to 8, or your 9 to 5? What do you do?
Well, my 8 to 4:30, I work as an administrative clerk in creditors. So I work with numbers. I get to be the money lady. I studied internal auditing and financial accounting. He met me at the sales office because we sell maize meal.
Okay.
So he met me at the sales office. I was dropping off papers.
No, you can mention the company.
It's a blank button.
Yeah, no, you can mention the company.
A lot of the people.
Blank button, you hear that? You have to pay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like there's a lot of containers everywhere. Yeah, especially in my hometown. So whenever I see it, I'm like, oh, my salary. Whenever I see somebody buying Super B. So I work for that company. Yeah.
I remember we used to have one in Guinyama, where I grew up, or where I come from. Yeah, my uncle used to work there. We have comments there. So far, we don't have questions. The first comment. Wow.
I'm glad they don't have questions.
But we want those questions, ladies and gentlemen. Bring those questions. There's a question from Tembanyati on Facebook. He said, beautiful work, Didi. And Samulo Christopher on Facebook, he said, I love you, Eulender Nanni. Such a strong, beautiful woman.
I love you too.
I'm jealous. And the other one on Instagram, it's Cash Payment Zwede. It's brand country. It's a beautiful show. Indeed, so inspired. They're inspired with what you have just said so far.
Thank you very much.
And that also, I am inspired. So you are inspiring people out there, Eulender. What can you respond to that when people they say that you are inspired? Do you think you are really an inspiration, or do you think you deserve to be called that?
It's humbling. So I want to just reach out and say thank you very much. My dad often, when he calls or when I call, he often says, you are making us proud, because a lot of people will go to him and talk to him and tell him that, oh my gosh, we see your child. And I've always been an outspoken person. I was not expecting that somebody would walk up to me and tell me that you're doing a great job, because I chose to do what I do. Yeah. Because I wanted to impact somebody. I wanted to make a difference to somebody's life. It is a bonus when somebody acknowledges it. If somebody doesn't acknowledge it, ask yourself, why are you doing it? With me, whether you're going to thank me or not, I'm still going to do it because it makes me happy. It's my feel good. It's not something that I'm doing because I want validation from people. Remember, like what I said about not wanting to even when I hear what people say about a relationship. I knew people were talking about my relationship, but I never actually even want to find out. Some people send me messages. What I do, press delete, move on. Okay. So for me, even when somebody has to thank me, I'm not expecting it, because I was not doing them a favor. I was doing an act of service. Okay. And it was not an act of service for them. It was for me. With them, the act of service might have been to just be existing and be there at the right time for me to be able to serve, to render that service to them.
So you must not live under the syndrome bazotini abantu.
Yeah.
Forget about that. Keep your head on. Keep on focusing on whatever that you are doing. Unless I'm misinterpreting you, that's what you said.
No, you are so right. I've never conformed to anybody's standards, not even my parents. I've respected their wishes. I've respected their regulations and laws when I was under their roof. And I still respect them to an utmost respect, because they're my parents. They brought me to this world. But I'm a person who has their own ideas. They grew me up to a point where I can think on my own. So it's time for me to live that. So why do I have to conform to another person's standards? Why do I have to subject myself to be judged by another person? Meanwhile, I am my own person, that I can create my own destiny.
You know, when you say that, you are taking me to another point to say, is this the life that you've once imagined living while growing up, or you still want more from this life?
Oh, I really want more. I always consider myself as a global brand.
Okay.
And then I make a joke with my friends, the ones that understand me. I said, why would I marry somebody that is from Switzerland when he's like from European descent, and I'm not gonna be even global? That is gonna be like a waste of like culture, you know. So even way before I met him, I've always wanted to be a global brand.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we live in a day where technology takes us there. I mean, literally, we could be sitting here, but somebody else in Russia, in Ukraine, in Switzerland are watching me. And hopefully, they're watching me in Switzerland, Renato, Sylvia. So, like, for me, I look at that already there, bang, you're global. All you need to do is start thinking, and then you are. Look at how most of the global icons are now. It's because they started believing in what they craft and they perfected it. Bonang for one. There's so many people. I mean, look at Trevor Noah. So it starts with what? Believing, dreaming, taking the step, forcing yourself to be out of your comfort zone.
Your work and the things that you do there's a big difference.
Contrast, right?
There's a big difference. There's a big difference. As you say, sales, money and everything, events and being an MC, it's two different things.
Yeah.
How do you maintain the two?
I've always told people that I'm a multifaceted person, or I'm like an onion. You peel half of me, there's always something else that you're gonna get to know. So I'm not a one trick lady, and I'm not a jack of all trades, but I'm mastering what I'm doing. So funny how people say a master of none, but I'm a master of the things that I am doing, because I'm not mastering everything. If I'm doing 10 jobs, I am good at it, because if I was not good at it, I wasn't going to be able to do it. I'm learning how to farm because my husband is a farmer. A person might say, you're not good at it. I will be good at it until I will learn until I'm good at it. Financial accounting was never something I grew up with because I was an infant. I studied up until I knew how to do numbers. So I'm able to spot different mistakes. So at the end of the day, I am mastering what I'm doing. Everybody can be their own master. They just need to choose what they want to master. You can master different things. Like with me, I'm a makeup enthusiast. I do my makeup now. So I'm mastering that. So you can't tell me I don't do that, because when I'm out there, people can notice.
A wise man once said, not even the sky that can limit you. So do not be limited with anything that is in this world. We were created for it. Go for it. If you want another business, if you want photo shoot, they are based in Anjin Court. We call them the studio, or they call themselves the studio. For kids, they charge 15 rand, and for adults, they charge 20 rand. And for Goldea Media, they poster designer, they do that custom-made magazine, newsletter, photo editing, book covers, video editing. You can also get them. They are based in Tulamash. Eulender, would you advise someone, a young person out there, to start a certain business?
Yes. I say go for it. One thing you asked me if I'm doing an 8 to 5 or a 7 to 4. The reason why I have not quit my job is because I am working so that the salary I get, I can be able to substitute what I'm doing on my businesses. Because if you don't have an investment or a money well where you can go and dig every time, I suggest don't quit your job. Always be smart about it. Your salary will be that which saves you. Your salary will actually substitute what you are actually not able to do on your passion, on your business. So for me, I tend to take more of my salary, subsidizing it on my businesses. So that's how I do it. Most of the people might say, the husband is helping.
And yes, it is again.
Yeah, like trust you me, I am one person that I've always said, my husband will do what he wants to do for me, because he's married to me, not my businesses. And he's lived his life. He's already started his own things. So why am I supposed to not put myself out there and see how far I can go? So my business is being helped by my job. So start something. Start little. If you are a makeup artist, don't want to buy everything. Start minimum. Buy your basics and build from there. That's how I also build a lot of things. I started doing basics. I looked for venues that they could sponsor me. I looked for a sponsor. I looked for people that could help me for like doing pro bono. I grew from there. So you build relationships so that they can help you.
Beautiful.
But don't exploit people.
While you're sitting at home listening to us talking here, it's Eulender Nanni, my guest tonight, all the way from Emajembeni, but now residing in Nelspruit in a farm. That's what she said to us. That's what she told us. But anyway, special appreciation to Dora and yes, Tireni Holdings that are making sure that everything is in place. And yes, Eulender, I've just asked you that would you advise someone to start something? You've just said yes, you will do that. But can you talk to that someone now?
Yeah, I can.
Do that, please.
I can. I had a dream when I wanted to start my events. I didn't know how to do it. I saw people. So what I did, I researched. I went to Google. So if your business pertains that you need to do something, if it's a design, then you need to acquire the skill. If it's a service, then you need to practice. If it's MC, you need to start watching YouTube channels. You need to start watching people that are MCing. Follow them. If it's teaching, whatever it is, if it's makeup artists, it means you need to follow all the hip upcoming makeup artists. You need to know who is hot in the industry of makeup. If you're doing nails, you need to know who's best in your area, who's best nationally, who's best globally. You cannot not know who is doing it big in your field. If you want to be good in business, you need to know who is the businessman in your community, and then nationally, and then globally. Because at the end of the day, how are you going to take your business from you being in your little community to national and then global? So you need to make sure that you acquire the steps. Don't want to be like Trevor Noah and you're a comedian. First know who's the comedian in your area so that you can learn their tricks, move gradually, gain momentum. That's the best way. You can't actually skip steps when you want to reach the top. No one moves from elevator number 0 to 12. It goes step by step, even if it doesn't stop. And most of the time it stops. Whether you like it or not, because there's always people going on and off.
Beautiful.
So,
we're talking to Eulender Nanni. It's 7 o'clock. We started at 6 o'clock. That means we are not 6 o'clock, by the way. We started at 5:30. With 15 minutes to finish this. A lot of people, they always say 60 minutes it's too small for us to talk, or for me to have guests that I always have. Eulender, two things that we're facing now in our country, which now it has been extended again. They have the third one. We have the gender-based violence, and we have the COVID-19. And moving that now, we're gonna be having economical challenges. That's what it's happening. But what can you say when we come to that? Let us first check on COVID-19. What are your words, or what's your take on COVID-19?
I can say every decade or every century will have its hiccup, or a depression, or wars, or something. We are in the age where we're facing COVID. No one can evade, choose, or like duck from it. It's something that, as much as we think it won't pass, we will live through it. Just like we've lived through swine flu, we've lived through TB, not knowing if it's like a medication for it, if there's ever going to be medication for HIV/AIDS. There was a similar disease that a lot of people died from. So we're in a time where we just need to follow protocol. We need to know ourselves in terms of health-wise, take care of ourselves, and follow just the basic regulations of being hygienic. Because at the end of the day, whether you are following the rules or not, you are going to find yourself in the stick if you're not. I mean, for me, I was actually brought to reality when I got flu this week.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I could have COVID because I'm working. I've been working since the long. And when I went to the doctor, I tested me. I've got flu. I've got a migraine. Maybe I'm overthinking things because I'm an overthinker. I'm always thinking about something that I need to do. But that actually brought me to realize that life is too short. I've heard people that were very close to me that I've shared a life with which died because of the disease. You know, they went to Joburg and back. And then after 2 days, they hospitalized. And after a couple of days, they're telling us that the person is normal. So it's a serious disease. But it doesn't make you to say, stop, hide yourself. You just need to follow protocols and procedures and just protect the other person. I mean, we're sitting here, we're in a distance, but we're still making a conversation.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more of, let's just respect another person's life if you can't respect your own. Just respect that another person's life and think about them if you can't think about yourself. But I think most of us will think about ourselves first. If you think about yourself, you'll definitely.
You heard it from Eulender away. What can you say?
It's a very hard thing. I think for me, I wanted to add thing in terms of people who actually die the boy child.
Yeah, beautiful.
Because many emphasis is put on the girl child, how to behave like a lady, how to treat people, how to treat your other significant other when you're going to have. But we never focus on the boy child. We never teach them how to take care of us as females, but we teach women to take care of the other male counterpart or their brothers or their siblings. They are not able to love us because we're not putting an emphasis on them. How can we do that? For me, that's when I realized that, you know what, we need to make sure that we nurture the boy child. We need to show them that being in touch with their emotions is wrong for your mother, or fighting for your mother, or fighting for your girlfriend or your sister. Because when you understand why I'm hurting, you learn, because everybody has a soft part, because we're all humans, but we toughen up the guys so much that they forget, and a skill which is not learned or exercised, it's something that they will never realize.
They tell us in that I can't.
Yes, for me, I encourage my brothers that they need to cry if they need to be. They need to tell us if they're not okay. They need to voice out what it's not right about them. It doesn't matter if one day you're feeling not happy. Say it, because at the end of the day, if you are in touch with your emotions, you are able to be sensitive to another person. You can be able to empathize. Our men can't empathize my pain because they are not taught to empathize. A child is like a small girl is taught to empathize, because as soon as I stumble, even if I haven't felt, she's gonna say, "Oh my God, sorry." But a boy, he's just walking along like he don't care, like he doesn't. We teach them. Normally, when a boy child, we'd say, "No, get up quickly." You don't even go to his aid. We need to start showing them that they are as fragile as the girl child. And for me, it's my new lease of some of the things that I want to show, that boys too can cry.
But when you say, I think it's rare to get a person grooming a boy child. How has it been now? Are you getting there? Are you winning the battle, or it's a bit difficult?
By default, I've always had young men around me, in terms of 16, 18, my age group and all that, and they've learned something, I've learned something, because it's people that I could work in the industry, and they could send me messages and tell me that they've learned something about me, that I don't objectify. Like when I talk to them, I don't actually make them feel like I am a female or I am a male. Because for me, I see people as individuals before they are a female or a male or an age or like weak or strong. I see everyone as individuals. And if we start saying that, I think we'll actually start treating people as normal. I've got a 13-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
As an example, I see her as my little me. So I need to show her how some of the things that she needs to learn in life. If I treat her like a child forever, she's going to learn like a child. But if I see that at this stage, maybe I can teach her this and that, and here insert something that if you're a young child, you need to know about. Like gender-based, children need to know about it. If they don't know about it, they can be abusers at that young age without even realizing. So just treat individual people as they are. We are all individual. Respect, mutual. Make sure that they understand that they're important. Because I think men think they're not important. They're just supposed to make money, and that's it. I think that's why they're so mad. You know, we're raising a society of men that are so angry and hurt. And it's because of the way we've objectified them. It's like we made them like objects. We never want them to feel or hurt or have anything to say about their emotions, and which is wrong.
Beautiful. Still talking to Eulender Nanni as we are getting to the end of everything. Eulender Nanni, 2017, you were crowned. I think it was the first pageant, if not mistaken, if not second. It was the first time you entered a pageant, hey? Yeah. But you were crowned Mrs. Mpumalanga Ambassador, and now there's Tammy Taylor. How would your response to these two? And if people, they can always follow you, how can they assist you? Because you are one of our own.
Yes. When I entered Mrs. Mpumalanga, I wanted to make a certain sickness known that is not for attention. It was an eating disorder that my daughter had, and it had other things that I wanted to add on. So I remember when I entered, I told the close people that I knew, especially my husband and my family, that I wanted to have the ambassadorship because it's where the work is. I didn't want to be a beauty queen and just that. I wanted to actually have an impact on what I was doing, because when I read what the title entailed, for me, I'm a person who I get bored easily. I do not want to do things which I feel they don't have. And because they separated the two title, I wanted the title that had what I always wanted, which was work. I'm not afraid of work.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of work.
That's good.
I actually don't like when I'm sitting and idling because I feel like I'm wasting my existence. So I wanted something to do and I wanted a challenge. And hence when I entered Mrs. South Africa, I wanted a challenge. I said, a lot of people know me and I think I'm not going to grow when I'm in Nelspruit. So I need my brand to be national so that it can go to national to global. So I wanted a new challenge one because I knew that other provinces might have not known about my existence. They might just know the name when they're Googling by chance and then I pop up there. But I wanted them to know the essence of who Eulender was truly. So that's where I actually entered and I said, and the brand that they actually have, it's so in line with me that for me it fitted like a glove.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do people from the province and everybody want to support you on Mrs. South Africa?
They need to follow my pages, which Instagram is Eulender_Nanni, Facebook is Eulender Nanni. They can vote by liking the official page on Mrs. South Africa on my picture. They can click there and they can actually SMS a voting line. My name, Eulender Nanni. I've put everything on my social media. And I'm a person that I still handle my own social media.
Beautiful. You don't have a PA?
No, I've got people that are helping me, but I'm so much of a personal... I want to be in touch with the people. So when I'm sending you a message, it's me. They've often asked me, let's just call... answer for you. For me, I feel people are going to know it's not me. Okay. And I'm not at that level where I'm ready to release it. So it's still me when you're communicating with me. It's still me who's posting. It's still, like, you still have Eulender Nanni doing that.
When I check on my time, it's 27 minutes past the hour, 6 o'clock. That means about to finish everything that we were talking about with Eulender Nanni. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, it's hashtag 60 minutes with DD every Saturday. What are your last words?
just start. Get up and just start if ever you want to start something. It doesn't matter what it is. Just get up and start. The universe always helps those that helps them. Often people use it in a very wrong content. But if you use it in a positive way, as soon as I started doing what I was doing, I started connecting with people that were in the same industry. Without even reaching out or without even making a lot of calls, people would just say, oh, you're doing this. Oh, I want to do it. So just start. Draw that business plan. If you don't know how to do the business plan, Google is your friend or go to people that can help you. There's a lot of mentors that are doing everything pro bono. I also have moments where if I see that the person needs the help, I do mentorship pro bono. So I'll selectively look for a hard worker that is willing to do the work, and I will monitor the person, and then I'll select them to do pro bono work for mentoring, because mentoring is also a job.
Please, you must scout us. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how we end everything. Eulender, we thank you for your time and for your patience, as we're supposed to run at 6 o'clock, but we had to start at 6:30. So, as time freak as you are, you let us in your house, and we thank you. Wishing you all the best from the team and everybody that is watching from the team. Hashtag 60 Minutes with DD. Wishing you all the best. May the God Almighty bless you.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the listeners too for tuning in.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet again next week, same time, same place. Do not forget to follow us on Facebook. It's DD aka Rural Poet, and yes, on Instagram, matebula.dumisani. Good evening. Good night.
Wow, it was really nice.